Getting into breakout groups is going to be an important tool that you can use in order to support students with their needs, as well as to get into a workshop model during your core content areas. In order to get into breakout groups, first, you need to make sure that you are designated as a moderator in your account. You can see that by looking up here and making sure your name is under moderator. If you are in a class and you are under participant because you have logged in as a guest, please make sure to contact the moderator of the session you're in order to have them move you from a guest to a moderator. They can do so by clicking on the 3 dots next to your name in the attendee controls and clicking Make Moderator. So in order to start a breakout session in BBCU, first you're going to go over to the Share Content tab. All breakout groups can be made down here under the Interact line, and you will click here to start your breakout group. When you are getting ready to start your breakout groups, you're going to have a couple of different options. Because you have a few different options, it's going to be important that you plan out your breakout group session before your breakout groups begin. So your options that you have are you can randomly assign students to a breakout group, or if you click the drop down, you can create a custom assignment. A custom assignment is a bit time consuming to create. If you would like to do a custom assignment, I highly recommend writing out your groups beforehand, making sure that you are in your session early, and you can start creating your breakout group custom assignment as students and staff members join your session. It's also important to plan with any co-teachers in your room, because if you are the one creating the custom assignment, you can work with them to take over instruction in your class as you are creating your custom assignment. So we're going to start with randomly assigning. So first, when you randomly assign, you have the option to include moderators in a group assignment. This is great, especially with our younger friends, to make sure that a moderator is there in your breakout group to monitor anything that is going on. With your breakout groups, you can create from 2 anywhere up to a custom amount of 20 groups. That's usually for your higher number classes, like when we're in our staff development sessions, we can get up to 20. However, because in my practice group, I only have 11 attendees total, 1 moderator, and 10 participants, it's giving me up to 5 attendees in a group, so I can make up to 5 groups to keep them nice and even. You also want to know if you want to allow any attendees to switch groups when you are starting your session. So if you want students to be allowed to switch different groups, you can click this button. You always all have the option to go back and uncheck anything if you would like. So as you are setting up your groups in BBCU, it will automatically start making any adjustments down here to your groups as you make them. Now, you'll notice that moderators, unless you specifically put them in a group, they will remain in the main room. So you can click here to include moderators in group assignments, or you can move yourself into one or the other groups, or move moderators there, and you'll notice that it'll update automatically. If you see these groups and you think, oh, well, I don't want these students together. Glenn and Roy, they don't really get along, whether we're in person or virtual. You can click next to them and you can move them into a new group. You can also look at your groups and say, okay, well, 6 members, that's going to be too many. I want to create another group. So you can click this plus sign to add another group, and then you can start moving different group members into that group. So I'm going to move Josh and Austin And then over here, because Gwen and Roy don't really get along, I'm going to move Gwen into group number 3. So you can keep making adjustments until you're ready to start your groups. And when you are, you're going to click Start, and everyone will automatically go into groups. It's a great idea to give your students either a countdown or a warning when they're going to be moving into different groups, so that way everyone knows that this was planned to happen. It's also a good idea to snag a picture of the screen as you're moving in, so that way they know exactly what to look for as they go into their groups. So when you click Start, your breakout groups should automatically start going. Sometimes it takes a moment, but it will also tell you where you are. Okay, so as you see, I am in group 1, where I said I was going to be, and here's our main room, okay, with nobody in there. Now, if you notice that somebody else is where they're not supposed to be, you can always make changes while you're here by clicking on the circle with the 3 dots and moving somebody to another group. You as a moderator still have the option to send private chat messages to individuals in other groups. And you'll notice back here, if you click on chat, your group chat will automatically be changed to whatever group you're in. If you want to send a message to everyone, you can go ahead and click back on your chat. There was the little arrow next to your chat bar there, and you can click to whatever group you want to send a chat to. If you select everyone, you can send a chat to everyone. So it's a good idea when you're ready to move back to send just a warning. Say we will be moving back. And then you can give a countdown, 3, 2, 1. So that way students know that we are going to be coming back. You can end your breakout groups by going back here and clicking on the stop sign, or so to stop the recording or to stop the breakout group, just click here and everyone will come back to the main room. Another good thing to remind students of before they return is to turn off their microphones and their cameras, or else you'll get blasted with sound. So if you want to create a breakout group with certain students, maybe you are doing a math center rotation and you have a couple of other teachers in there to support, so you're going to be doing some center rotations, you can click breakout groups, and this is where you're going to want to do a custom assignment. Now the thing that you need to remember with the custom assignment is, do you want to allow attendees to switch groups? So if you want the students to be able to switch groups, you can go ahead and click that. Okay, this is also good for moderators. If you want the students to remain in their same group, they can do that, or you can have your other moderators switch groups and keeps the students in the same room, and then you just switch to another group to work with a group of students. So you can start dragging and dropping to create your groups. So here they have 2 groups, that's the default, but if you want to create 3 groups, you just click the plus sign to add a 3rd group. If you would like to name your groups so that way each student knows exactly what they're going to be working on, or if you want students eventually to move themselves into the group, you can go ahead and you just click on here and you can move it. So you can say this is Mrs. Pico's group, or maybe you want specific students in a group working together so that way they know where they are. So we'll have, pardon me, Josh, Gwen, and Lucy working together. And then down here, this will be Austin, Samira, and we'll put Roy in this group. Everyone else could be in Mrs. D'Amico's group. So, to start moving people, you're just going to drag and drop them from the main room. Sorry, pardon me. Sometimes you can drag and drop them when you have created your groups. So you're just going to click on their name, and you're going to select which group you want them to go to. So I want Anthony to go to Mrs. D'Amico's group. Austin is going to go down to his group. Don is going to go into my group. Gwen is going to go into hers. So is Josh. Here I am. I'm going to put myself in Mrs. D'Amico's group. And just keep clicking until you have all of your groups changed and selected. Just as before, when you're ready to go into your breakout groups, click Start and they will begin. And it'll take a moment, and then you will know which group you're in. All right. So again, double check to make sure that there's nobody left over in the main room. If there is, you can move people into different groups. So again, I'm a moderator. I have the power to move people and move myself to other groups. But since we allowed people to move to other groups, you can go to, this is one of my students' groups. You can pull out the side to see. And you can go ahead. And this is a student who's in Miss D'Amico's group. So if they want to move to another group, like they might have a time with another teacher and they need to meet with Josh, Gwen, and Lucy in their group, all they'll have to do is click from the chat over here to attendees, and it'll bring up all of the different breakout groups. And you'll notice next to the group name, there's a little green arrow. So if this student, which has to be either, oh, this is Tina. So you can tell that this is Tina because her name is in bold. And I'm going to have Tina move to Josh, Gwen, and Lucy's group. So Tina is going to move by just clicking on the green arrow that looks like a door and move her over there. And it'll automatically move her. Okay? So again, if they are participants, they do not have the power to end breakout groups. Only you do as a moderator. So when you are ready to move everyone back, you're just going to go back to your main group. You'll see you can stop your breakout groups up here in your attendees panel, or you can go back to share content and there will be a stop sign right there to end your breakout groups. Make sure to give a warning to everyone, so go to your group chat. Make sure that everyone knows that you are moving back. And to please mute your microphones. Send that chat to everyone. Give them a countdown. And then you can go ahead to either panel and you can end your breakout group. And it will pull everyone back to the main room. So make sure that everyone has reconnected. I know sometimes some people will think, oh no, I'm kicked out, and sometimes some people will get kicked out. So make sure that everyone is back in your main room. Another consideration, especially if we are having issues with BBCU like we were on Friday, if a person gets booted and then comes back in, when they're in the breakout group, they will be placed in the main room. So just keep paying attention to see if anybody is left over in the main room and to pull them in. If you are only one person and you do want to use breakout groups, students are allowed to be in a breakout group without a moderator. However, you as a moderator have the responsibility of going in and out to different rooms and checking on them, okay? So make sure that you are paying attention to that. Breakout rooms work best when you have planned it out, okay?